Hi, I wanted to show you how I kind of first got started into Willys. This is over 20 years ago, maybe even longer than that. Here's back in about 66 was a flyer that I got years ago on the original car. It's a 33 Willys Coupe. This it used to be blue when I first seen it, with a stinger out the front, an exhaust system that went out the front. Here's when it was painted gold, just before I got a hold of the vehicle. It got crashed back in the probably around 66, 67 maybe, and in a few minutes you'll see here what I ended up with. This is the piece of stuff that I got. I traded some, I ended up getting it gave to me for some trade work that I did on a Volkswagen Bug convertible that I painted. I wasn't too pleased about it, but I threw it around the yard for probably 10-15 years before I realized what I had. What I did was ordered some fiberglass parts to try to figure out how to get me a measurement or some on the. There was 4 motor mounts or 4 body mounts on the bottom of the car, and I was trying to get those measurements. I finally went to Idaho, and a friend of mine up there had a 33 he was working on, and so I got the frame measurements. So I come home, built the frame you see there. I've got it kind of mocked together, got a rear end, tires sitting up underneath it, and we're going to try to put this thing together here. Here's where I put it across the floor and got those 4 body mounts located on the frame, and I've straightened the cowl up a little bit here. Just slowly working. Here's the front end, putting the front suspension together. Remember, these are 25 years ago pictures or longer, probably longer than that, to tell you the truth. So anyway, that's why they're black and white. I got these pictures. I was taking them at that time. I was on Tex Smith's hot rod mechanic editorial magazine, and he was kind of showing me how to do it. Told me black and white 35mm cameras, so that's why I'm using the black and white film. Anyway, here's the firewall recessed back in. The corners were made out of mandrel bent pipe, so I could get the radiuses. The other was bent over a pipe. That set my motor back in where I needed it to go. At the first time around, I was going to put a 4-speed in it, so I've got the floor laid in. This is a kind of a pipe that I beat into to make the rear of the transmission tunnel. Got it welded up there. Okay, I'm going to put a firewall in here, or not a firewall, a dash. And there was a couple little bumps, and I looked at magazines to see what the original dash looked like. So here's the cardboard pattern kind of laid out, kind of like the original dash looked like, at least of what I thought. We didn't have any 33 Willys anywhere around this area, and so I'm just kind of going off the pictures, getting it laid out on the metal. Got my bead roller out and put beads around the outside, getting it cut out and laid out here. Cutting the corners, getting things folded up to give it a little drop on the edges there, just like I say, kind of duplicating what the original ones looked like in magazines. Here I started by pulling up with pliers around the corners. Decided now let's make a hammer form and hammer that up around. So that made it a lot nicer and easier to do, and I learned how to do hammer forms. Clamped a piece of wood and folded the whole bottom up, so that got my bottom edge. Now I need to just weld that little transition piece in there, so I'm getting that welded together. Alright, getting it ground down, all finished smooth, nice, and getting it held up in the dash area. We're putting it back in the dash, getting it tacked in. Now that I've got another Willys, I can see that the dash is a lot wider than what the original one was, but it still worked. The rear had no rain gutters. This is looking into the trunk, so I'm got some shrinkers and stretchers, and shaping and forming this metal. These were some of my very first metalworking experiences that I'm having with this. Before then, I don't know, I wasn't doing that much metalwork, just collision repair work type. Still doing some custom stuff, but just finding things that would work out of other cars. But now I'm actually shaping the metal. So I've got my rain gutter all in. Now we're going to go build an inner wheel well is what I'm looking at here. I've got it with the fiberglass fender trimmed, and now I'm building an inner wheel tub. This was the very first hammer form that I ever did. Made a wood hammer to use to hammer over on it. Anyway, here's the inner wheel well, and I run it through the bead roller just for some looks, and made it look a little nicer. Okay, the door, when it was wrecked in the accident, it actually was open, I guess, and it ripped the hinge right in half, and the door right off the car. So it ripped the chunk out of here, and I welded that chunk into there and get the door back together. Well, anyway, I kind of mocked it all up. I've worked on it for I don't know how many years. Like I say, it's been a long time. What I did was put it away at this point, and it sat in this little shed area for about a year. Could have been more. I just had other things I had to do, so I kind of put it away, said goodbye to it, and started working on customer stuff. So anyway, we'll show you the journey of bringing this thing back to life, and it was a good fun project, and it was my first Willys. So stay tuned. See ya.